Hello once again, lovely people. Today we have for you another hopefully exciting match. We are featuring Podatte from rank number 4 challenging James196 from rank number 2. So these are some of the highest ranked players that we have at the moment. James from Guardians of the Beyond clan and Podatte from Deathwatch clan. Not sure why anyone would voluntarily be in Deathwatch clan, but that's a different story. So the first system is going to be serious, as always, and we see Podatte in a CC. Good old reliable choice right there. And we see James in a Punari. So this is actually interesting. I'm not entirely sure how this battle goes. I feel like the Punari is going to struggle a lot to actually kill the CC. Honestly, Punari lacks a bit in DPS. James with a Scrambler, Pod with an AB trying to stall out. He's gonna get a partial stall here. Yeah, so he's wasted a decent chunk of the duration of that M Scrambler. Which is good. He is still fighting into it, so Pod's a bit behind on HP. 44 against 72, quite a bit behind actually. James just throws the stun out. We'll see if Pod gets... No, he goes for an RD. So that's interesting. It was just the stun though, but... yeah, he might have wanted to put a protector there. James now with the RD. So he still has the protector. And so does Pod. Pod has his Scrambler already running. His actuator already running, so he'll get that RD back quite quickly. James now going for a stun. Pod's just gonna prod that off. James trying to juke out an OS, I think, there. Pod not going for it. James needs to put a prod soon, otherwise he's gonna get OS'd. Yeah, Pod goes for it. OS gets put though, and James now at pretty low health. I'm not sure what he's gonna do about this. Don't think his Scrambler comes up in time. Podatte puts the trap, and this should be the end of the game already. So very decisive by Podatte, just working through the defensive items one by one. And I don't think James had the correct item order there. Should have probably started with either the prods or the RD. Those are a bit lower cooldown than the actuator, and they can use the actuator more to support those. I'm messing up all of my item names today, sorry guys. You can use the aim scrambler a bit more for supporting, let's say, your primary defensive items, supporting your RD and your protector. But those are the main things that you need, and you should not be dying in one cycle on a Punari. I think that's... bit of a misplay, but Podatte definitely taking advantage and just, you know, pushing straight through. And off to a quick 1-0 lead in this series. James now choosing Drag for the next system, and we'll see what these lovely players bring out. I'm gonna take a quick look at his ships. Podatte, quite a rich player, so he has tons of options to choose from. I'm not sure about James. It looks like a lot of stuff in configurations, I hope, but not that much for us to look at. I'm gonna gamble that he has a Chrome for Draco or a Punari. Those are really the fighting ships here. He doesn't have much else, so a bit lacking in the variety on James' part. Just not having as much flexibility. I'm not sure if Hecate scanned these ships. If I say Hecate, by the way, Hecate is Podatte's old name. Just in case we have any newer players or viewers somehow. So I'm gonna get those confused a lot throughout this PvP. But I think if Podatte manages to scan this, that he only has a Punari and a Chrome, I don't think it's looking good for James, because both of these ships get countered by the same ship. The Emperor hard counters both of them. So if Podatte sees this and he wants to take advantage, he can just kind of spam his Emperor. And he is indeed bringing out the Emperor. I'm not sure if that's a response to the opponent's ships or if he just likes playing the Emperor. It is one of his favorite ships. But yeah, I'm a bit afraid for James. I don't think he has much that he can bring out against this, unless if I looked over something, or if he's gonna buy a ship right now, but then he'd have to fly out. But let's see what James is gonna give us. And he flies out in a CC, so this is very unfortunate for James. There's honestly not that much that he can do here. this match is over based on the ship choice, and I'm not gonna pretend that it's anything else. There is, yeah, there's very little involved here. But we're gonna see, you know, one good OS and all that turns around. The issue is getting in range for it, obviously, against an Emperor. But we'll see. Maybe James can pull something out. Maybe he can't. I have to favor Podatte heavily on this. And Podatte is asking me if he should go for a change. Your choice. So yeah, if he wants to offer a ship change, that's his choice. If not, then that's also his choice. He has the right to play, and James saying he's ready. Razor being a big meanie, saying that he should just kill him. So, we'll see. So I'm expecting a bit of range exploiting here. My expectation is indeed met. Podatte is a very good range exploiter. There are not many, if any at all, players on this server that are better at range exploiting than Podatte is. Now we get to display. James should be putting his protector, force out the perforator, because the second protector you get is mistimed with the perforator. So I think he... Podatte puts a perforator early actually, so... Oh, it takes a lot of damage actually. James needs to reset out now, I think. When he gets his actuator, when he gets his AB up. Yeah, he gets it in time, and now he needs to trap Pod. Oh, that's really unfortunate. He puts the trap before the AB comes out, and I think Pod is gonna get in range and kill him now. Yeah. Yeah. So very slightly mistimed there. That's really unfortunate by James, because if he gets that trap after Heck puts his AB, then he stalls out long enough to get an RD back and a second OS, and the fight looks completely different, because the Emperor doesn't have an actuator. So if the fight somehow, some way gets stalled out long enough, the CC should be able to overtake it. But yeah, in this case it just didn't pan out, and of course I say it as if it's like an easy thing to do, to put the magnet trap after the AB. It's not that simple, because if he goes out of range, if James goes out of range, and then he has to like wait for Podatte to catch up to him before he puts the trap, he's gonna die, because the sniper blaster has a bigger range than the trap. To my knowledge, the trap has rocket range, and the sniper blaster has obviously sniper blaster range, which is more than rocket range. So yeah, he needed to time it perfectly there, and he almost gets it. I think Podatte was just holding the AB though. But it looked really close on the timing, and if he would have gotten it, he may have actually won, because Podatte didn't have defense at that point. But it is what it is, and what it is a 2-0 lead for Podatte, with James choosing Vega for the third round. So Vega, obviously, quite a linear system. All of the ships are viable, so I'm always very interested. If you see my previous commentaries, I think Vega is more interesting than people give it credit to, but it is a little bit rock paper scissorsy with your ship choice. So we'll see what these players bring out. Maybe James can get lucky, maybe Podatte gets lucky. We'll have to find out. And Vega PvP, just in terms of feeling, it's so different from the other systems, because you don't have the armor yet, so everything does so much damage. It's really crazy in Vega. And James brings out a shock. Is it a normal tech shock? Strong. Long repair droid. Okay, so he's banking on Hecate playing a shock as well, pretty much. That's what this looks like. And Podatte does. So Pod with some weird tech here. He's playing a balanced repair droid. That's normal, because that's what you want against storms. But he's playing a long actuator and a long stun. And I think this is very favored towards James now, because the long RD... I'm a bit split about the RD, to be honest, because in Vega it's like... it's not enough. Your armor isn't strong enough, I think, for the long RD to keep you alive. You need to put it really early, so we'll see if he gets a correct timing on that. But if he can wager it properly, I think he should be ahead. He's also ahead if the fight is short. So we'll see. Needs to RD though. Yeah, he throws out the stun. AB out by Heck, and this is painful, because Podatte just wasted basically the entire stun duration, and that's a strong stun. James now with the RD, and James is in a long stun duration, so he's gonna be in a bit of trouble. I do think he lives here because Podatte needs to put his RD, but misses a blaster. That's very good. No. Yeah, that's the issue. The long RD is like, it just doesn't heal enough in Vega. You don't have the HP to wager it. You have to put it way earlier, and even then I think the correct way to play that would be to RD quite early on, and then if you start taking too much damage, then you stun. Because then during the RD, you can or during the stun, you can heal up a bit, because you're not taking as much damage, so then your RD starts out healing it. But well played by Podatte, kiting out that stun duration, very powerful play. So yeah, pulled off to a 3-0 lead now, which means that once again it goes to James for the 4th round, and he needs to start thinking about how he can come back into this. Needs to pick the right system and pick the right ship, and yeah, that's about it. I do think it's a good idea for him to stay away from the RDX systems. Honestly, I think he's gonna go Mizar. Okay, Mizar is still... There's some reasonable flexibility. We'll see what he brings out. It's still the same issue though, because even with Mizar, where the Sniper Blaster isn't that good, I think a Mizar Emperor will still beat a Mizar Punari, and it will still beat a Mizar Chrome as well. So we'll see if Podatte wants to exploit that, or what he's gonna pick, and maybe James throws some curveballs and goes for... I assume he has it, goes for a Scorpion. We'll see. Yeah, he has a Scorpion, which is pretty good. Always annoying to play against Scorpions. And he also has a Storm, which I think is an underrated ship in Mizar. I think not enough people use it. The Storm is actually quite powerful if you know how to play it properly. It's very good against a lot of the more technically inclined ships, because you just perforate them and your damage output is overwhelming compared to things like Locust, Locust, CC, even Emperor is quite vulnerable to a Storm actually, and James indeed picks out the Storm, so really going for some curveballs here, and we'll see what Podatte brings out. I'm quite curious. A lot of people favor the Locust so far in Mizar, and we'll see if Podatte is one of them. Now he's gonna bring a Punari, so this is again very unfortunate. Storm does not win against stun ships, it just doesn't. So once again, based on the ship choices, I'm gonna have to heavily favor Podatte here. But we'll see. You know, Punari isn't the highest armor ship ever. Podatte again with all of the long tech though. Ooh, actually that's interesting, because long repair droid is really shit against a Storm. So we'll see actually, we'll see. But if Podatte manages to not get bursted, yeah, he just throws out a stun at the start. He doesn't wanna risk anything. Messes up the timing there. If you stun your opponent, you can't get the aim PC before the rocket hits anymore. Starts with the scrambler already. Podatte really defensive, and James already throws the thermo. Podatte already throws the RD. James with quite an early RD in my opinion. He's playing balanced. I don't think he should be doing it that early. He's still gonna chase. I think once he arrives here he's just dead. His RD will run out. Yeah, it's already out. And he doesn't have anything now. Okay, he veers out of range, so that's good. If he can stay out of range until he gets his RD back, he's actually not in a bad position. because Podatte has used a lot of his resources already. Sorry guys, my voice is going a bit dry. I will try my best to continue this commentary for you. Okay. While commentating, I'm gonna pour myself some water. I really apologize, guys. So Podatte gets back in range, but he had to use his AB for it, and James didn't. So James should be able to AB out. I'm not sure if he's going to. No, he waits for the RD. Okay. So that means that he can survive quite a bit now against the Ponari, but his Podatte's Afterburner will be back up in time to chase James now. And James once again, like, yeah, he just gets stunned. Now he ABs out, but Podatte has it back as well. So I think this is where he just dies. The cooldowns have overwhelmed him. If he can wiggle out of range again, we have a match, but I don't think so. He's stunned. He has nothing at this point, and yeah. Yeah, that was mostly, once again, mostly on the ship choice. It's really difficult for a Storm to beat a Ponari. But still, like, he gave it a good run. I wasn't expecting him to last as long, honestly. I was ready to call it after the first AB, pretty much. But he managed to wiggle out of range, which was quite good. So the fight lasts a bit longer. But yeah, ultimately your cooldowns are just gonna be a mess against the Ponari. You can't fight it for long. So it's just a choose your demise game, realistically, against a shock ship like that. You go for a short fight, his stuns are too powerful and he has all of those defensive items, you're not getting through it. And you go for a long fight, his cooldowns just outscale yours because yours are being slowed down constantly. So yeah, rough series for James so far. He still has at least one more match to try to turn it around. So we're gonna find out. Wait, am I correct? No, I'm not correct. That was the fourth match, right? Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that was the fourth match already. Okay, so that means that Hecate or Podatte takes a quite a convincing 4-0 lead. Yeah, bit unfortunate on the ship choices. I think James put up a valiant effort, but if you're limited on your ships, it's just rough to do it, you know. So yeah. That means Podatte will be moving to rank 2, which pushes Wick to rank 4 and James to rank 3. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the series, and I'll see you on the next one.